All right, welcome back to Level 3 Focus on UltraChenTV. My name is Ultra David. This is James Chen.
Yep.
And tonight we've been going over Daigo versus Infiltration. We've seen all of the matches that they've had in a major public setting, in a major tournament. Since 2012 already. We've seen EVO 2012, Top 8. We've seen Street Fighter 25th Anniversary Winners Finals and then Grand Finals. And we have seen EVO 2013 Top 8 as well, where they were both in loser side, and Infiltration actually eliminated Daigo. The reason that we thought about getting all these together was the set that we're about to watch, which is was at the Tokyo Game Show, Mad Catz Unveiled. There was a whole really cool event, had some really interesting exhibitions. It was built off exhibitions from a little while before that, where Daigo blew up Xian, who just won EVO 2013, 10-0. So after that, after having seen that Daigo was capable of that kind of thing, of just lighting up the EVO champion 10 games nothing, you know, we refused to count Daigo out. You know, we were, admittedly, before Daigo versus Xian, I was saying Xian would win. We were all, but after seeing that and seeing how he minutely studied the little spots, the exact spots to stand in, exactly the right reactions in all sorts of situations. He knew all the setups, he knew everything. It was just impossible to count him out. But at the same time, looking at Infiltration and how he plays and how studious he is, it was impossible to count him out too, because you never know what he's going to have in his notes. He's going to have something about Daigo in there. We've seen actually how he's played, right? In the very first set that we saw in EVO 2012, he came totally prepared. He knows, Daigo, I know you can throw fireballs at this exact range. Here are the things I have to beat it. Focus, dash toward, jump at the right range, sweep. I'm going to use these, and I'm going to light you up. So he's capable of that same kind of thing.
Right. And not only that, he saw what happened to Xian.
Right.
So he's like, I ain't going to get blown up by Daigo like that, right? Because after that, everyone's like, oh my god, Xian's a fraud. I mean, come on, guys.
Xian is not a fraud.
Xian is not a fraud by
dude.
any stretch of the means. Yeah. But, you know, Infiltration's probably like, I'm not going to get blown up. Like, I better study too. Yeah. You know, you got to imagine he's thinking
I would think,
right?
Yeah.
But so here's the main thing, right? Daigo went all in on this, right? Because not only did he train with Tokido and Bonchan, apparently they just went crazy on the Akuma match. I heard they just played tons of Ryu Akuma just to figure it out, right?
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
Yeah, and then secondly, Infiltration lost his Ryu training buddy, Laugh, right? At least true. Supposedly. Like
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, Laugh hasn't been helping him out much recently. And then the third thing too, Daigo was even trying to play mind games before the event, sitting there going, "Yo, Akuma's actually a weak character." Yeah. I mean, really, Daigo? I mean, he's playing mind games because Justin said he talked to Tokido and he was like, "Does Daigo really?" And Tokido's like, "No, that's just talk."
Just for talk, huh? Just try to convince Infiltration that Daigo's coming for him, right? Like,
dude, Daigo's even getting into that, dude. That's so crazy. But Daigo really was coming into this full bore. Like before it even happened, remember he said he wanted to do a first to 50.
Really? I hadn't heard about that, I don't think.
Yeah, I think there was one point, it was like after he beat Xian and people were talking about it, and he was like, I would love to do a first to 50 with Infiltration. Yeah. So,
okay.
I think
So the set itself is really interesting. We'll see what kind of adjustments Daigo made, and we'll talk about that stuff. But just before we get started, I want to plug in the chat.
Oh, yes.
Boing. A write-up that Z actually did, very much the same kind of thing that we'll be doing.
Yeah.
Where he talks about, game by game, exactly what he thinks was going on, why it was going on. Really interesting read, actually. So yeah. I highly recommend going to check that out.
I apologize. I didn't get a chance to read it when I saw Z had posted up. I was getting ready to leave work and all that stuff like that. So didn't get a chance to read it. So, I mean, I'm sure he has a lot of really smart stuff pointed out as well. Hopefully you guys get a chance to read that and take a look at that. So
let me just re-put that in there.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll try to remember to put it in the video description underneath the actual video. So.
Yep. And Z should be a mod in our chat now. I think.
Is he?
I just give
You did
him
it?
voice. Yeah, but let's see if that happens. But in any case, shall we just go to the match then?
Let's go to it. Yeah. So, you know, it's a 10-2 match. It ends up being completely a flipped kind of situation. And, you know, you got to pay attention to why exactly things changed.
Yeah. So the first thing that I want to point out is that Daigo was really focusing on this N+1, N-1 thing.
Right.
You can see it right away. So already he's only throwing fireballs when he's in the middle of delay. And right there, you see the focus dash forward. It's too far away for him to do any
let's
punish.
start this whole thing over again, because this is actually pretty different start in general for Daigo. Remember, his options more or less were throw fireball or fake and then throw fireball.
Right.
Hangs out, completely defensive. He didn't want to take any risks right there.
So N+1.
Right, a little too far.
N+1. Now he got in here, and very early on he gets in here. Now, interestingly enough, I think Daigo likes this. He's glad to see that Infiltration is still playing this game against him, because you'll see how this is going to change in just a little bit.
Okay.
Because Daigo makes one adjustment here. I know it happens pretty early on, so let's see if we can see it. So he gets into distance N, and you can see this now. Daigo's walking into distance N. You remember in the last game, he was trying to avoid distance N a lot of times.
He was backing himself up all the time.
Right, so in this game, he tries to get out of distance N to throw fireballs, but when he's in there, he is just waiting for Infiltration to jump.
And I love his own jump toward right there to try to get into a better range for himself, just in front of that situation N. Right there. He can do things from there. He can do toward fierces to try to light up focus attacks.
Right.
He can throw a fireball without Infiltration being able to react.
And look at him, distance N. Do you see those? Do you see the bobble right there? I really want to point that out. So he knows Infiltration's already ready to go for this jump game, right? So you see him, he bobbled twice there, 2 more bobbles right there. He's faking, because one key thing I said in that last match was that even though he wasn't throwing fireballs at distance N and wasn't getting beat up, he had no way to do damage to Infiltration. What he determined now is that he's going to get damage to Infiltration. Not only is he going to get damage, but he's going to do it without spending any meter. So now all he's doing is waiting for him to jump. And he is timing his uppercut early. He doesn't care about getting deep uppercuts. In fact, he doesn't want deep uppercuts so he can get trades into Ultra like this. And boom, he just got free damage with no meter usage right there. And so when he's at distance N, he's just waiting for him to jump. And as soon as he jumps, he's going to uppercut. He's not going to do the little crazy deep uppercut for damage.
Woo!
Dude, that's just a new shenanigan right there.
That's not new. That's from 2008.
Okay. New from Daigo.
Yeah, I don't think I had seen him do that before. I'm sure he knew about it. Just bringing it out is rare. It's one of those old tricks you just don't see very often anymore.
Now see, uppercut. He didn't get that perfectly deep. That wasn't a perfectly deep uppercut. He didn't care, but he did a fierce uppercut. And then he took to the air to stop it, too. You see him do that a couple of times,
too. Even though it didn't work out, that's an important tell, I think.
Yeah. But again, see, at distance N, not throwing fireballs. You see him faking with those jabs, again. And he gets the trade on the dive kick, because the dive kick was causing him a lot of problems before.
It was.
But that's only if you do the deep uppercut.
Right.
Because if you do the deep uppercut, the dive kick will slip in front and it'll miss. So he's just uppercutting and trying to hit it out of the air. Yeah. So he doesn't want to let that happen anymore. That to me is like one of the big changes that happens here. See, N+1. This is N+1 here. And now he's back to Daigo mode, throwing lots of fireballs.
Right.
Because there's really not much Akuma can do at that distance. See?
Right.
Right there. He was safe from the combo.
And the thing about that distance is that it's a distance that you don't normally see the Ryus throw fireballs from, because it's not that useful. If somebody backs up, they can jump over that fireball, and there's nothing that Ryu can do about it.
Right,
but because of all the things that have happened between these two players, understanding of which distances, which setups, that distance becomes a good, strong distance in a way that you just don't normally see. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, also another thing, too, is that, remember, when you backdash, if your opponent sees you backdash, he knows you're stuck for a little bit, right? So here, do you see Daigo just walk that distance? He never backdash, so I don't think Infiltration ever felt like he had that ability to charge in, because Ryu could still do anything. So he walks to N+1 distance and starts throwing fireball from that same distance again. See? Look how far away he's throwing fireball.
Yeah, that's a far away. And again, you just don't see top-level Ryus throwing fireballs from that range very often.
Especially Daigo. And boom. Yeah. See, if he hadn't died there, he might have been able to get the trade into Ultra again.
I like that for that reason, but I like it again saying, look, man, even if I'm going to lose a round, you're not jumping. Like, you just remove it from your mind as an option.
And then
I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, let me just get some good damage off of that super right away. Oh, good throw tech on there. He knows, again, that... Oh, see, air to air. So good.
And then actually taking control immediately. He's not worried about the potential of Infiltration doing uppercuts.
Right.
In the previous sets that they played, he sometimes was worried about that. He didn't guess right a lot of the times in when to pressure and when not to pressure, but here in this game, he guessed right all the time. He knew exactly what Infiltration was going to do.
So Daigo gets game 1 here. And like I said, he's really kind of trying to... Remember how we were saying it looked like Daigo didn't know what to do? Like, as we keep going, you're going to almost kind of see Infiltration start to get that feeling, too, that he's not sure what to do. And they're an unusual jump forward for Daigo. Because remember, we didn't see him ever
it's a second jump forward, actually. He had one in the previous game, too. But yeah, you're right. We had only seen him do that, I think, twice in all of the previous games that they played. So he's really changing things up for himself.
Right. See, every time he's at distance N, he'll hover there for a little bit and then get away from it. Because he's already getting Infiltration thinking about it now, not jumping at that range, not going for his stuff.
Right.
So N, okay, I'm not going to do anything. Okay, N+1, I'm going to start throwing fireballs.
Safer spot.
Oh, there we go again, see? I'm just going to uppercut and go for it, and it worked. See, that was so low, too. I was surprised that worked. And then he just gets him. But same thing again, right? He put himself into that end distance again and said, you took advantage of this distance from me before. Now I'm going to take advantage. I have figured out a way to do as much damage to you as humanly possible. And that is going to be the early uppercut into Ultra.
And I like that he's being a little bit more offensive and control-minded at the start of rounds now. At the start of the round of this very first game in this set, remember how defensive he was. Just very patient, didn't do anything at all. But in this one, threw a fireball and then dashed toward immediately. He said, I know I have control.
And then they get attacked by a swarm of bees.
What is happening right now?
No, that was just in the video. That was in
for
the
real?
Yeah, that was on the YouTube video. I remember seeing that. See, again, he's just waiting for him to go up into the air so he can do that early jab uppercut into Ultra. That's all he's looking for now. And then he has some crazy setup here to chase down that. Yeah. Again.
Oh, well, actually, back up a little bit. This is one of those things that has been really good in Street Fighter since the dawn of time, but that only people who are really good seem to figure out. This is fine. It's already good. Watch the second fireball that he ends up throwing here. This fireball, only reason it hit was because he dashed toward and moved the screen far enough that Infiltration couldn't escape the fireball. If he had stayed still, the fireball would have been off screen and that would have been a safe teleport. But he saw... He saw,
Yeah. So... sorry. I mean, some guys who just tuned in, they're like, what are they talking about, distance N? So distance N is basically this distance right here. This is a very important distance. Infiltration used it to blow up Daigo in the first few matches, and now Daigo's done the opposite, and he's taken advantage of it. I swear, every time that comes up there, it reminds me of like 70s sports watching, like when the screen technology wasn't as like.
I'm gonna have to take your word for that.
God, I hate you. Right? Well played, sir. Well played.
Again, you see that jump toward there. Daigo... it's cool because Infiltration, in some of the games we've seen, has actually been throwing fireballs a lot from the range where at the start, Daigo threw fireballs. Now we see just completely different series of events where Daigo is now jumping toward Fierce at that range.
And you notice, remember how I mentioned that Daigo was only getting his damage by getting in and playing those stupid frame trap stuff?
Yeah.
That's not happening at all right now. He hasn't had to do that at all, and he's been winning, right? So, this is... Oh, guys, Daigo's adjustment on this is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's playing patiently. I like that he challenges there because that was an issue for him in the previous games, that he wasn't. He was just kind of letting Infiltration take control of that spot.
Ow. God, so good. Let's go back into this and...
Yeah, N is like 1.5 to 2 training mode squares, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, but then he drops a combo. Wow. I mean, you know what? That's actually kind of a sign because
to tell.
People drop combos when they're like, I got my damage chance. Here we go. So Infiltration's not feeling as confident and comfortable with this damage now. So
it was an issue for Daigo in previous games that he was losing. It comes up more if you're losing than if you're winning.
Oh,
It really does.
Okay, there was a standard crazy Daigo uppercut.
Yeah. But he's fine with taking that.
Yeah. Also, another thing, if you notice, that time he had the deep one, so he knew he had to FADC it. But you'll also notice as well that Daigo sometimes will throw fireballs at distance N just to test him a little bit, but he always seems to do so when he has a life lead. Like, he won't do it if he's, like, really far behind and it might kill him, you know? Because, actually, there's one round later on in this match that I think is really super key at some point, but when we get there, I'll point it out. So
I like that he's willing to take that trade. Of course, it's better for Ryu. Get the hard knockdown, get a little bit more damage. And he's done a great job of not getting hit by things after sweep.
Yeah.
You know, there isn't... Akuma doesn't really get a vortex on Ryu. He gets a sweep into one mix-up,
Right.
and Daigo's done a great job not getting hit by that in this set.
Yeah, so if people are wondering why we keep mentioning N instead of like describing it as an actual distance, it's because to me it's really important to also describe N+1 and N-1.
Just a little bit in front of and behind that spot.
Yeah, those are two very important distances, so I don't want to go 2 squares or 1 square or 1.5 squares, so just a general idea of it. And see, there, Daigo... See, he's not backing up as badly. He's fighting for that position, which he wasn't doing before, right?
Yeah, that was a major problem for him, that he kept getting backed up. Akuma walked forward, and once he was caught in the corner, Daigo, he just got lit up.
So Daigo... See, that was N-1 distance that he threw a fireball. Now, it didn't pay off for him, but it's still important to note that he's not throwing fireball at those ranges where Akuma can get the big punish.
Mm-hmm.
See, look at this. Daigo has done nothing. In that last sequence there, Daigo pretty much did nothing, you know, and that's just... I always talk about the economy of buttons in this game, you know, and what people who don't know how to play Street Fighter tend to do is they want to keep hitting buttons.
Yeah.
And literally in that sequence, Daigo did nothing for like 4 seconds and then like 2 low forwards.
Well, interestingly, that was bad for him before. He actually... Wow, just perfect jump time.
Yeah.
That was bad for him before because he got caught in the corner and then was just like, what do I do? But here he shows more confidence in knowing when to press buttons and when not to. And that jump toward right there, even though it is kind of the same idea that I mentioned at some point previously where he jumped toward, right, at the end of a round expecting a fireball, that was out of weakness, but I feel like that jump toward was out of strength.
Yeah, absolutely. He was reading Infiltration just kind of going into the fireball game, and so he was able to predict. Look at this. Look how bad. He tried to predict
Again, the jump toward. That was exactly the opposite interaction.
And
at the very first game we saw, that was Infiltration jumping toward into damage over that exact same spot, but now it's completely flipped.
Check him out. He knocks him down here, and then he tries to bait the teleport. Look at that point-blank fireball, and he actually didn't teleport. But yeah, we saw that exact situation where that was that block situation, and then Infiltration jumped and got the hit, and that time Daigo did. So.
Yep. So now it's what, already 3-0, I think? 4-0? 4-0.
Yep. Alright, so now Infiltration is starting to feel lost. You can kind of see in his game now, he's really kind of just dancing, but he's not getting anything out of this, right?
Yeah, it's now him who is the one backing up. You see how much he backs up here?
Ow. Fierce uppercut. So much damage. Didn't combo, but only minor punishment. And now Daigo just uses this opportunity to get out of the corner.
See that close range sweep? That's not something he was doing before either. It's a big risk to take because it's so punishable.
Yeah,
but it's something you do if you're confident.
And in all those matches, we never saw Infiltration jump over a crouch roundhouse and punish. That's the first time it happened, but it just shows you that Daigo's really kind of changed his game. He's really trying to prevent getting walked into the corner as badly as he did last time. See, Daigo's definitely... See how he's gotten into distance N, and he just hovers there?
Yeah, he's just waiting.
Standing jab, standing jab, standing jab. He's like, I'm just waiting for you to jump or focus dash forward or do one of your little funky shenanigans, right? And again, see, just outside that distance. Oh.
That spot was perfect, just beyond the sweep.
Yeah.
Perfectly beyond the sweep.
So good. Yeah, so in case someone asked, Mad Catz Unveiled, when was this? This was in Japan at Tokyo Game Show. About a month ago, a little less than a month ago.
A little less than a month, it was maybe 3 weeks.
So here we go, see, right here, let's look at this again. When they're playing this little footsie game here. So Daigo gets to the point right here where, okay, I'm kind of at distance N. I'm just going to backdash. He's trying to get out of that distance right now because Infiltration has kind of stopped jumping over his fireballs, right? So now he's trying to get into the point where he can start throwing his fireball games again.
Well, he's backed himself up all the way to the corner here.
Oh, so good. There's that stand short, get the sweep to whiff thing. So Infiltration's got a pretty good read here that Daigo is throwing out a lot of sweeps now. So he's managed to punish the sweeps a couple of times, and that's Infiltration's new little corner setup.
Wow, thrown right back in, though.
Yeah.
Yes, he tried that trick again.
Yep,
Didn't work, and this is a bad spot to be against Ryu. Oh, no.
Ooh, I'm surprised
Gets
he did an
out.
Ultra there.
Yeah, I would have thought he'd have some options select.
There's that stand fierce, so good. The stand fierce is good because it anti-airs at ranges where people don't want to hit buttons to get uppercuts to whiff.
Right.
I'm surprised he did a fierce uppercut.
Yeah, me too. Me too. If that had been jab or
Strong.
even
maybe,
strong,
yeah.
he might have been able to get the Ultra afterward.
Yeah.
I keep looking at these jabs that he's doing because in older games, it was very important to throw out lots of stand jabs sometimes because you could catch people blocking and you'd be put into like block, whatever, I forgot the term is, but where you can't move because you're caught in block because the opponent is doing an attack. That's come up sometimes as Akuma's been walking around, that he's gone into block, and so as Daigo's mashing jab, Akuma can't move.
Right.
Because of that proximity blocking thing. That's the proximity block.
Yeah. But also, he's just trying to fake fireballs a lot,
Right.
too.
Yeah, it serves that dual purpose.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Infiltration making the comeback here. God, Daigo's throw techs were on point as well. He never got frame trapped. And then there's that surprise low forward, not letting Infiltration get that distance. Intercepted. So he's playing very wary at distance and looking for any offense. Jump equals uppercut. If he walks forward, then he tries to go for a move, right?
And in the more just kind of guess-heavy situations, in those frame traps, in those wake-up DPs, and all that kind of stuff, he's doing well now, whereas previously he wasn't. And that's kind of harder to analyze and to really discuss too deeply, but he's guessing right when it matters, and that's a big part of this
and
thing.
see, the beginning of this round is another kind of tell here. You can see Infiltration is just kind of like, I need to figure something out, so I need to dance. I need to make it look like I'm thinking about something. See, and it looks like he's building meter, actually, is what he's trying to do. But he seems to have lost his battle plan. Just lands the little gimmick again. And that's funny, too, because Daigo is not a gimmick player. He does not rely on gimmicks a lot. And so it's actually pretty funny that he's going for that there. But you can see some crazy execution errors that you would never think you'd see Infiltration make. Just focus dashing through a fireball. He's making mistakes.
Combo into nothing.
Yeah, so here we go, block. Oh, oops.
Right, he let go of it.
Yeah.
How about that?
So he's just having a little bits of problems here. Oh, counter sweep, and Daigo just walk. Oh, yeah, Daigo. He realizes he's kind of in his head now.
Yes.
See how he's just kind of walking forward and throwing. He can read that behavior from him, and again,
Woo! Tippy toes.
Yeah, same thing. So Infiltration right now, the read that he has on Infiltration is that Infiltration says, I need to out footsie him. I need to out footsie him. So he just walks right outside of the range every single time and catches him. It's so good. But I think this is around the time that Infiltration may get his first game.
Oh, he hasn't gotten too many rounds, let alone games.
Yeah. I think he might win this one, actually. I don't remember if it was the first one that he wins or the second one that he wins. That I feel like Daigo does something really interesting.
Okay. Well, right now, Daigo really playing confidently. I mean, he's walking forward. He's pushing Infiltration into the corner, throwing fireballs at ranges where he just didn't before. I mean, that's a risky spot.
Oops.
Yeah, well, oh well. That'll happen sometimes.
Yeah, I think this is the round right here. So he's kind of down on life here, right? Oh, wait, no, this is not the one because I think he kills him here.
Oh, yeah, probably will.
Yeah, and that's kind of interesting. He uses the EX uppercut. I guess he has to.
He has
the EX,
to.
yeah,
he
right.
has to.
Because otherwise Ryu could use his EX uppercut and beat it. And so Daigo just eats that.
Did Daigo do a reversal at all there?
No, he just took it.
Well, you might as well. You might as well build that meter.
Oh, that's right, huh? Maybe he did. Then I'm not sure. I didn't see.
Yeah.
Ooh, punish time.
Yeah, no Ultra, so Infiltration cannot cancel that into Demon.
I was really interested. Oh, 2 demon flips to get out of the corner. I like that. But then, see, already, we never saw Infiltration jump into a fireball.
Yeah, you're right.
That never happened before. And that's just a good sign right there that Infiltration is really confused at Daigo's fireball timing here. Boom.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of at a loss. That's the first time we've seen that in every game that we've watched, that he jumped into a fireball at that magical range. But Infiltration, like I said, he's not doing terrible here. He's basically surviving off of his own skill and fundamentals in smarts right now. You know, anybody else would have cracked so badly that Daigo would have just melted them. But to Infiltration's credit, he's playing very solid. They're even tied in life at this point, despite us sitting there saying he's making all these mistakes and looking kind of confused.
Right. Well, Daigo's still throwing ranges or fireball from that ranges.
The N+1.
It doesn't make any sense in most situations against most people, but he's using it as a counter in a really interesting way.
That's where that messed up. And
mashers.
He gets Raging Demon here. Yeah. So I think he was trying to do uppercut into super and get the juggle into ultra. I think he was trying to do that just to be fancy.
Maybe.
Because he's up 5-0 right now. So he was probably like, I can do uppercut.
I don't know.
Giving him too much credit.
He's a masher. He is. He's even... I've seen him in interviews say that he will wiggle the stick to get a dragon punch out.
I was actually talking exactly to
I do it. Why not?
To Muffin Man recently. The interesting thing is in the older games where they didn't have the shortcut code, if you were mashing uppercut motions, your character would wiggle up and down.
Right.
But in this game, they just stay crouching because you're wiggling between the corners, right? So a lot of times when top players like Daigo and stuff uppercut Honda headbutts, you're like, whoa, what react to? He's just mashing back and forth and just has to hit a button.
Right.
It's so silly, I swear. But here we go. So back into this one.
So it's 5-1 now, right?
Yeah. And we've seen Infiltration rattle off 6 in a row against Daigo. So obviously this is not even close to being over. But just the style of play that Daigo has, again, is so important. See, every time he gets a distance end, he just doesn't throw fireballs unless he knows he has an advantage. He only throws them from a screen away for that N+1 distance. All right, here we go. Time for Infiltration to get in there. Oh, EX fireball. And instantly dashes up to try to get back in there. And see, too far away, N+1, so focus dash through fireball. Doesn't get him anything.
And he's not challenging in the air, so he just was able to land before getting hit by that far stand fierce.
Yeah, so those early on, that jab uppercut or the trade uppercut into ultra, very early on, he hasn't landed it that much. But just the fact that he landed it twice has made it enough that Infiltration is just really scared to jump forward now.
Right, the reason I think that he hasn't landed it that often is that he's kind of removed that option from Infiltration's repertoire. You notice how Infiltration now is so grounded, he's bulldogging it. This is something we've been doing since Street Fighter 2, trying to walk forward through fireballs. It's just not working that well right now. But he's not jumping. And that's, as Daigo, if you get to concentrate with Ryu's tools on just the ground, the way he's using them right now, you're going to be fine.
Ouch. Boom. Oh, look at him. He's just waiting for Daigo to do an uppercut.
Right.
And so Daigo, I'm content to throw fireballs from a screen away because you cannot punish me as badly over there. Good walk-up block.
Oh, yeah, confirm. And he gets the confirm on that, too. He's consistent with that.
Yeah. You can react in time for
that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can react and not burn your meter. If you burn your meter every time, that's easy, hit confirm, right? But he's doing it like he knows it's hitting somehow, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
He confirms it.
Yeah. But that's such a good sequence for Ryu. It's such a powerful sequence. But here we go. Jumps over there, over one fireball, right? So he predicted one fireball, got some good damage there.
Oh, no button.
Oh, and then Daigo messes up. Yeah, he messes up.
Like I said, they both do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a strategy.
It is. It works.
Good footsies. Empty jump into throw. Oh, trying to bait a teleport. Jump backwards, trying to bait that teleport.
You see Daigo trying to walk backwards now. This is more how Infiltration did well in previous games. Well, now he kind of backs off, but he in the walking towards at very strong angle, at very strong distances.
Right. Yeah, I think Daigo kind of messed up back here too. You see him do the double pump, like he's faking a fireball here. Watch, you see him do the double pump, and then when he jumps, he gets the deeper uppercut than he wanted. I think he wanted the shallow one so he could combo into the ultra. But even so one of the things Daigo's doing, see, he tried to do a shallow one there and it just didn't work out as well, right? But you can see that the reason why Daigo wants to do this is because he wants to save his meter. He doesn't want to spend all his meter on uppercut FADC because the EX fireball is so valuable. And I'm pretty sure it's either this round or the next round that Daigo, I feel like, does something really interesting here. Let me see.
Nice. Gets the anti-air.
Oh, good counter poke with that fireball.
So Infiltration's trying to make the jumps a thing again. And consistently, Daigo's knocking him down for it.
Ow. Okay, definitely wasn't this one.
Okay.
Because Daigo just bodies him here.
Yeah. See what the opening is. These opening gambits are so interesting. Oh, fireball immediately.
Oh, but he doesn't
And
get
air
the
fireball
combo,
immediately too. Huh.
Because it's a safer option. He's
I guess.
scared.
Yeah,
He's scared.
I guess that must be what it is.
Alright, good stuff here. Oh, okay, autocorrect uppercut. Dude, look at Infiltration. He's just like backing away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's doing just the exact opposite of what he was doing before. He's now the one walking backwards. He's now the one who doesn't want to challenge in the corner.
But now he's got Daigo in the corner. Interesting. He's got ow. So much damage. Especially
Yeah, I think that jump over was looking for teleport. He jumped over Infiltration as kind of his meaty option.
Yeah. Trying to bait that out.
Mm-hmm. Daigo pushing his opponent backward.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, there's EX at that range, which is good. That's always been a useful thing for him at that range N. Oh, doesn't want to press a button just in case of the Ultra.
Yeah, he was scared of range. He was so smart stuff.
Yes.
Smart stuff.
And now Daigo knows he has the big life lead. He's kind of taught Infiltration not to jump, so he knows he can just look at the ground.
Right.
Just pay attention to ground options. Oh, there's the jump back.
But then, that was such a mistake from Daigo right there. He kind of gave that one away, I feel like.
What?
Yeah.
Is this a round that he loses now?
Yeah.
He loses this game?
Yeah,
wow, he totally threw this game away. Crazy.
Yeah, that air hurricane messed him up, and now the time is running out, so Daigo's like, oh, try to get in.
Yeah, he's not getting in.
I can't, okay.
It wasn't even that. It was the big risk after that that got punished hugely.
Right.
That I think, I mean, as far as the hurricane goes, I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah.
That's very confusing to me. But taking the big risk, I think he feels like he's just so far ahead right now that he can take that risk.
Yeah.
He can, you know.
Yeah, and you saw the first time he lost, he got that uppercut super cancel.
Yeah.
And then that time he did a hurricane.
Right.
So both times he lost, I felt like I mean, I'm not trying to be one of those like make excuses for the guy, but like honestly, Daigo messed up both of those games. This could have easily been 10-0.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I think his Dragon Punch timing was interesting too. His Dragon Punches, as far as the Ume Shoryus go, are at the start of sets when he's trying to set the tone, trying to get reads, or very late in sets when he thinks he already does have the read.
Ouch. Here we go. Once again, Daigo, first to 10, so Daigo's up 6-2 here. And remember, he's already kind of shut down Infiltration's jump.
Yeah.
Right? Infiltration is just so scared to jump now.
Yeah, just ground-based play for him. Infiltration is basically looking for this ground, exactly this situation.
Yeah.
Sweep into something big in a mix-up.
Right. Ooh.
Wow. Oh, he screwed up the Ultra!
Man. Oh,
he loses here. Jeez.
Dude, that's so painful.
Jeez.
Daigo with a rare execution error. I mean, that one's pretty tricky, but again, he knew that's what he needed to make the comeback, so I think it might have been a little bit nervous.
Did he have super when he did that air tatsu?
Who had super?
Did Daigo have super when he did that air tatsu?
I don't know. Well, you think
here's why I'm wondering about that.
Okay.
Do you think this is what he was looking for? That Infiltration gets far enough behind him that if he inputs the Hurricane code as he's jumping backwards, that he'll actually come out with Hurricane in the right direction, and so get like the normal jump in Hurricane that you can then combo into super? Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't know. Maybe. Because the thing is,
I feel like that might be
when you
it.
see an Ultra and you're jumping backwards, everyone can land and punish that.
No, I know, but I think that might have been the style he was looking for.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. It's definitely not above Daigo now to be styling on people. Because, he's in numerous interviews already said, oh, yeah, mashers right there.
At least he saved himself.
Yeah, he's said in numerous interviews now that he's trying very hard to entertain. You know, that's one of his main goals. Oh, walk out of throw range, go back into throw range.
Yeah. Oh, he only had 2 bars. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you can DP too. I don't know.
People still trying to guess the 5th character in that scream chat. It's funny.
It's gonna be 10.
I guarantee.
It's gonna be 10. It's gonna be 12's pre-clone.
That's a Necro.
No. But in between Necro and 12,
Oh, okay,
there were
okay.
presumably 11s.
I'm pretty sure. I'm still guessing Evil Goken.
I hope not. That sounds really stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he gets exactly infiltration there, gets exactly what he's looking for, and that's really what he's playing for. That one sweep on the ground. He knows the jumps are gone, essentially. Daigo's just done such a good job of shutting them down. So he looks for this grounded far medium kick or far crouching medium kick or sweep into a mix-up, and if that doesn't work out, he has to back off.
Look at Infiltration is working for his third victory here.
Bad spot.
Oh, just got caught.
Bad spot.
Yep.
Maybe